right, let's do it. So it looks like Murloc Geniuses will be securing the first ban as they are going to be out Illidan. LunatiK Esports will be picking ETC. ETC makes a lot of sense on this map. Stage Dive is very, very powerful, as there is a potential for 2 shrines to be up, and ETC can grab one until a fight happens. So solid ban from them. And now Murloc will pick their first choice. Who will they be getting?
I want to say Jaina.
Yeah, you think so?
I really do. I mean, it was a popular pick. I'm wrong, but it was definitely a popular pick from a lot of the Evil Geniuses comps earlier on. And with the love that she's gotten this patch, if it's not going to be one side, it's going to be the other, but it will be the first pick, Sylvanas.
All right, well, straight into it. LunatiK Esports falls up into Jaina and Uther, both of them donning the blonde hair, looking beautiful and eloquent. They will definitely have some strong combos here. I wonder if this is a map that you pick Divine Storm up over instead of Divine Shield like we've been seeing, just because of the potential of really strong team fights and the small corridors that people have to go through, especially in the bottom shrine. The AoE stun can be incredibly powerful.
If we get a Tassadar, I could almost see them going Kerrigan in the next pick phase from LunatiK.
It is possible. I just wanted to loft the question out there, Jester, so we can get some bounce back. You know, we can't say things definitively, man, or Caster's Curse will get wrecked. But yeah, strong chance Divine Shield will be coming out. Murloc Genius is following up into their picks as well. What will we see from them, man?
Dipping into their pool time, so they're really thinking about this one. But if I have to take a guess, I mean, Zagar is a great laner. You got, well, there she is. She's a great laner. The Vision with her creep tumors and can definitely do some really good things for defeating out some of these roams. And once more, the popular ladies of Heroes of the Storm, 4 of our 5 right there, ready to go.
I'm going to start wearing a hood, man. Vala and Sylvanas look amazing in their hoods. How sick
Don't
would that
forget
be?
Jaina. Yep.
Yeah, Jaina looks great in her too. Oh my god, we just need hoods.
All right, brilliant new idea. Blizzard hoodies that are just hoodie capes.
Dude, I would buy a Vala one with the pink tent. Oh my gosh, I would wreck that so hard.
Sylvanas would get out. Yeah,
yeah, Sylvanas would get out. Get the green one. All right, well, third pick here for LunatiK Esports. Potentially, they want to get some kind of lockdown as well. With we already have the Uther up. I think Kerrigan's more of a 4th/5th pick, in my opinion, just because there is a potential that Murloc Geniuses could pick up Brightwing or something because they have to pick their 4th or 5th pick, and if you can kind of prevent them from getting Brightwing, it makes Kerrigan's life a little bit easier as you go into the mid/late game. But we'll see what LunatiK wants to get.
Tronda, Kerrigan, Tassadar are kind of the 3 that come to mind here first. If you don't really care what kind of tank you're going to get, the ETC is banned out, so that leaves us with a Diablo +1. And who would that one other be? We've seen Arthas now today. I've seen a Nubarak on the other side of the ocean. Stitches is, I still want to say, significantly more stronger on this map than some of the others because the temples do promote congregations. The congregations are great for hooks.
Yeah, with the hook though, like you have first off a team of really skilled players that know how to position around Stitch's hook, right? Like they can totally get out of it. Plus they have the added benefits of the Banshees, they have their Volts, they have the ways to get around it. So the only one that you'd be trying to hook right now, maybe just based on what they have picked, would be Zagar. But Zagar has her Roaches and her Hydra that she can throw down that kind of blocks that. So Stitches feels weird to me. I agree that can be strong, but I think Diablo looks like it's going to be their choice. I miss Stitches though, man. No one wants to play with him anymore, and it's sad.
You still have a chance here. I mean, we need a tank on the other side of things. Tyrael has been seeing a little bit more play, and I have actually seen a Mirrodin now today as well. I mean, there's still a lot of choices. It comes down to team preferences, but that Diablo as the front line to go with not only the Uther, but I mean, both of them have kind of those death traits ready to go. The respawn from the Diablo, the redemption later on for the Uther, the flash of lights coming out as well. I mean, it's going to be hard to just straight up defeat the LunatiK Esports team in a fight.
Can totally agree with that. So, moving over to Murloc Geniuses, you're going to need a tank, some kind of warrior, as mentioned by Jester earlier, and then we want to see a support. So the question is, what are they going to be getting? Mad Timmy in particular seems to really enjoy playing Rhaegar. So Rhaegar could be the potential choice here. But I do think Brightwing has a place here, just because I want to keep them away from getting Kerrigan. LunatiK has been on point with Kerrigan. But, you know, Rhaegar could be the choice. And then, of course, as you mentioned earlier, Stitches, Muradin. I think I would prefer to have...
Were you going to say Muradin?
Yeah, I was going to say Muradin, actually. And then it popped up. I was like, wait, is this real life or am I hallucinating? I just to pick up Muradin just to kind of keep back Uther or Diablo when they charge in. And then potentially also you can like lock down anyone and kind of threaten a lot with him because he can regen through health when the shrine spawn up or whatever, he can take a lot of damage and then pull back, regen back up, and keep sustained fights happening. So looks like Muradin and Brightwing will be the choice here. Murloc Genius is looking pretty strong.
Yeah, in terms of a solo lane early on, I mean, it's really hard to defeat out of Muradin. If you just kind of go for the trades, he will outpace you because of that second wind trait that he has. The regeneration is strong in the solo capacity, but it's also a good amount of lockdowns. So we could see lockdowns into Moz, into Strafes, or Rain of Vengeance into Moz, into lockdowns, any number of really good wombos, but it's not those big AoE team-wiping wombos that perhaps we're a little bit too accustomed to right now. Either way, LunatiK, they need to figure out what their last is. I'm still between Kerrigan and Falstead, actually, would be my second bet here, because they want to try to, get some of that global pressure on the map. There's no ETC, but we do have the Brightwing for Murlocs, and unfortunately, it will not be the Winged Dwarf. Why did I pick him?
I mean, you can only hope, man. You can only hope. I still want to see a Murky, but Kerrigan works here. Kerrigan, they have been on point with LunatiK. Like, every time they've had a Kerrigan engage, I've done nothing but applaud how the fight has happened. Hospital seems to be an insanely good player when it comes to Kerrigan. I'm saying, like, just top 3 Kerrigans in the world, man. Like, ridiculously good. So, if he can stay with that type of momentum, we could really see something get messed up here. But let's go ahead and move straight into the game. Looks like it'll be game number 2. I do believe if LunatiK wins this, they win the tournament, right? It's a best of 3?
It is a best of 3, and they are up 1-0 in that series. So if it is a straight 2-0, they go home with $100. Seeding points for, I believe, the monthly finals. I mean, the Go4s don't feed into the majors, but there's still a significant amount of cash week to week, month to month you could generate for your team. And at the same time, it's really good practice, really good experience for a lot of these guys to go against some of the top-notch talent in the scene. So, yeah, it's going to be exactly that. So sorry about the draft. I hit the Falstead after they picked Kerrigan. I was like, why did I do that? I don't know. Silly broadcasters. But, Tim, we are going to be jumping into it. Sky Temple for game number 2.
All right, moving straight on into it. We'll get this map loading up. Do you think Evil Murlocs can come back, man? Do you think Murloc Geniuses, whatever their names are going to make it happen? Can they take this game against LunatiK? LunatiK has just seemed to be really just like wanting to make a statement today, man.
It's going to be the Kerrigan, I think. Like,
yeah.
How good will these combos come out from Hospital? He has shown us some really painful work that he can inflict upon his opponents. But, I mean, we got the stun lockup from Muradin. We got the Brightwing polymorph. Rain of Vengeances could put her in her place. Silence arrows can really defeat that as well. There's a lot of tools we can do to mitigate the engage. So I think Murloc Geniuses hold a chance. I really do.
All right, man. Well, I'm pumped as the map is loading up. On the blue side here, going to be having Murloc Geniuses. Going to have Faye, Mad Timmy, Cathanluck, Caterpillar, and Rajar all grouping up here in the middle lane. Potentially might head towards that watchtower. And on the far right, for the red team, Jester, can you give us some introductions?
Yeah, I can indeed, sir. It's a team that I've known, played with, and seen do some amazing things. It is the LunatiK Esports, and Silo, Proteges, Slime, Shot, and Hospital all look like they're going to be collapsing here into the mid. Hospital has really shown us the power of these Kerrigans, but either way, I mean, Silo has been a boss on these Warriors. Ever since he got picked up into the team, he has continually impressed me with that play.
Well, if there's anything that Reddit has taught me, whoever grabs the watchtower first will win the game, and Prodigies has secured the watchtower for his team. We can go ahead and call it over, but actually in the bottom left, we have an engagement happening here. Silo well shot and then go for an immediate kill there on Brightwing.
So, I mean, you weren't right. You saw the Proteges get that watchtower. It's like something bad is about to happen. And the first blood into the bottom. They got that confidence boost by securing the smiley face. And, it's not the end all. The first kill on top of Brightwing means she just comes right back into lane with the phase shift. But it's a message, Trickster. It's saying this is our map and our time to shine.
This is our place to win. By the way, I do want to note that Faye is on Sylvanas, and her Sylvanas is insanely good. Holy moly, it's so scary to play against. And now Faye, Cathanluck, and Mad Timmy in the bottom lane are start putting a lot of pressure on this turret. There's no one here to really help respond to it. We kind of seen a similar situation that we saw in the last game where Rajar, Jaina couldn't do much against the lane, and we're seeing that now being replicated here with Murloc Geniuses now having Sylvanas.
Ooh, that Sylvanas bottom lane with Timmy and Cawthon, like, wow, that is really putting Slime on the defensive. Already down to the last, to half hit points, and has hit the fountain already as well. He's going to need some help.
All right, the turret getting low on HP. It looks like Sylvanas and Vala will go ahead and start retreating. Kerrigan has rotated down here. They want to cause a fight. They're aiming to get on top of Mad Timmy there just because it's a little bit harder for Brightwing to run away from the fight, say, compared to Sylvanas slash Vala because they have mounts. But nice positioning from Mad Timmy will secure him the retreat. And now with Mad Timmy staying down here, he has the option of keeping Jaina in lane or, of course, phase shifting into a fight if it's needed.
And that is exactly the reason why we see a lot of global presence heroes on this map, because the pressure that they can generate is just so good. It really does force the team to kind of choose what they want to do, but here goes the ganks.
All right, Faye in trouble, does get caught out. Looks like as Diablo and Hospital go straight for the kill. Caterpillar trying to run away as well, but with a total of 5 members here for LunatiK, it looks like they're going to be able to take back this middle shrine, but a few shots were taken away from Murloc Geniuses. Rajar in the top lane trying to hold down his as well. Uther, though, already trying to rotate up there. Potentially, we could have LunatiK try to run up here and try and grab the last couple of shots, but as the shots do tick down, it does not look like that will be an option.
Well, the mid is still actually going strong. The top, however, is done, as you said. I mean, they're not really going to be able to do much. Rajar has fulfilled the mission up top, but I do think that Red is going to hold this bottom, and they will. The mid tempo is going to tick away at the last little bit of siege damage, and it's, one shot close. One shot too few to grab that tower.
Well, Silo taking a little bit of damage here in the middle lane. Will be able to get away because he's Diablo, and now we're going to see our team spread out and try to absorb as much experience as possible. We do have Brightwing still in that bottom lane, and really Mad Timmy didn't have to ever leave. He actually soaked a little bit of experience there, which actually kind of kept his team in the game a little bit in terms of leveling. But, ooh, it looks like Vala was picked off there. Unfortunate for her.
The 3-man ended Venom from the Kerrigan. It was enough to kind of delay the pickoff, but it still was kill secure. And man, I was actually a little surprised to see the 5-man comp early from LunatiK into that mid tempo, but you know, they haven't really paid for it in terms of experience. They're up 3 kills, and now they're grabbing these siege giants. At the same time, Faye and Caterpillar are doing the same thing on their side of the map, but going back and forth, it's still a lead being generated here by LunatiK.
Yeah, just a small one, but enough to really get you that town a little bit earlier here. It looks like the Murloc Geniuses will be able to secure level 7 before the shrine does pop up, which is, again, the main goal you want here. You want to make sure you have that second talent tier available to you, or I'm sorry, the third talent tier available to you as you head into that shrine, because, again, you'll be on equal footing. Silowell, though, in the middle of the map here. Kazanluk does get picked off. There goes the combo. Hits Faye as well as Vala, and we're going to have one member down for Murloc Geniuses, and it looks like from here, Shot, Hospital, and Slammer going to be setting up to go grab those knights.
Yeah, I would expect the Bruisers to be on the menu because we're about to have that bottom temple spawn in the next few moments. And if you're not going to be going down for that fight, typically you'll see teams push out top. But even if you don't, it's still a really good idea just to try to generate that split pressure. The only one that could actually deal with that split pressure and still get to a fight too sweet is the Brightwing, and that's not exactly the best in terms of wave play.
Okay, Shrine now spawning up here. Jaina's going to push down that bottom lane as hard as possible here. She just dropped all of her abilities, Slime here, just so they can have a little bit of vision in case they can see if anyone's coming their way. Jaina now grabbing the Shrine. Diablo in the middle of the map here. Going to start grouping up with Uther, Kerrigan, and Toronto, and everyone's converging on that bottom area except for Brightwing.
Yeah, and Slime has already taken a few of those shots into the bottom. It does not look like the Murloc Geniuses are actually going to contest.
Well, luckily for them, they have Sylvanas, so they do have the option of just kind of pushing in the middle of the lane. But good job here from Silo, Prodigies, and Hospital, and of course Shot, realizing that that potential was available for Sylvanas. They floated around down by the golem a little bit just to make sure that they could get an idea of what decision Murloc Geniuses was going for, and were able to kind of prevent that from happening. And now, Murloc Geniuses are forced to come down here and try and cause a fight. Caterpillar was in the midst of the area, but had to jump away, and the red team now has full lockdown of this area. I would not fight into this, and I think Murloc Geniuses decides not to as well as they spread out.
Yeah, the experience lead is still kind of very variable right now. It's going back and forth. It does look like it will settle after that temple at about a half level between them. Silo goes in. Is that going to be enough for the combo on top of Rajar? It looks like it will be. And Hospital, again, like, if you can jump a Zagara, it's almost a guaranteed kill. Her model is so big, and she has no in-air escapes. And you see her now dead for another 7 seconds.
Yep, and now level 10 available for Hospital. He goes in, Faye gets away just barely with the Banshees. Nicely done there by her. Quick response. But still, you see LunatiK, they want to engage here. They want to dive in on the tower. They know they could fight it if they would like to, because they're going to have that Divine Shield available from Uther. Let me just double check on the talents to make sure he got that. Yes, he did.
Good.
And so with like a Kerrigan Diablo combo, if you pick off 1 or 2 members there, you can fight under Fort pretty easily.
Now, speaking of forts, Mad Timmy, who was not part of that bottom lane engage, he wasn't part of any of those fights. He was pushing out with those bruisers into the top. He actually was able to pick up that fort, and that's what actually brought us to the level 10 talent tier here for the Murloc geniuses. So it's not, you know, all bad for them. It's still a little bit on the back foot for the experience, but it's not the end of the world in terms of the difference.
All right, man. I'm just looking at Murloc Geniuses and trying to figure out what's the best way for them to get a fight here. And it looks like they found a way as Caterpillar charges forward, jumps on Jaina, Kerrigan, and Tyrande. And notice how they're playing very passive here. They're not using any abilities because they noticed that Caterpillar actually used his heroic avatar state, which if they can get away and prevent him from having that, that means in the next fight he will not have it available to them. They can take a 5v4 with 1 less heroic. So nice job by them, not forcing a fight, also realizing that their Uther was away. They just walked away from the entire engagement and was good from there. That's kind of one of the major disadvantages to playing Muradin, is he can't really chase people down that well if he doesn't hit the Storm Bolt, and unfortunately he missed it there.
So, I mean, not having that tanky heroic, that's going to be a problem for Caterpillar. We'll have to see how they fare. Silo goes in, the Lightning Breath comes out, they're looking for the kill on top of Faye, but it's just not enough. Instead, it will be the Brightwing. We got the Maw going down. The Slime and Shot are going to come back out of that one, and again, without that Avatar, the Dwarf drops, and over the shoulder, Silo tosses out for the 4th kill, and here is the ace. That team wipe with all the takedowns, 5-0. We are actually sitting at 10 kills overall to nary a 1 here from Murloc Geniuses.
Unfortunate for Murloc Geniuses. In that fight, Matt Timmy was on point, actually. Faye was out of position, and he dropped a cleanse right when Kerrigan walked in to go, or the Diablo went in for the combo with the Luna Flare. But again, they had a second potential combo with Kerrigan, and from there, the team fight just melted away. Matt Timmy, unfortunately, was not having cleanse anymore, got locked down, and he was killed off, and from there, which is a number game, 5v4 to a 5v3 into a 5v2. And beautiful trade overall for the red team. They grabbed the middle shrine, they have Uther standing there, and they have Jaina and Tyrande in the bottom. And we see all of Murloc Geniuses, they're getting desperate here, though. They need to get a couple of kills, and they need to grab a shrine themselves.
Yeah, and with that tempo now spawned, wow, Faye is actually going to be the big target here. Has that Haunting Wave, but it does not do anything up against that Lightning Breath. Silo now getting off some fantastic damage overall into this bottom lane, and the body blocks are real for Brightwing. He cannot get past that big character model of Silo. Over the shoulder, the Dwarf goes, and Muradin once more will be returned to the earth, and now goes the Vala. We're looking at a back-to-back team wipe with this next takedown, Trixfer, and Rarjar is cornered instead with nowhere to go.
Sylvanas just now spawned. In fact, right now, LunatiK is feeling so confident. The Water Elemental, the Snowman, running forward and breaking down the Golem immediately. The entire team here, low on mana, by the way, doesn't even care because they know that they have the actual map advantage. Are going to go ahead and grab this Golem. We do have Sylvanas heading on over, but Sylvanas, as strong as she may be, cannot 5v1. Ever, period. Sorry, unless the other opponents don't attack. And so now, with this huge big boss pushing down the bottom lane, some shrine shots available, the red team's gonna back all the way up, and then they're gonna head straight back to the shrine again.
So a lot of people have been asking in the chat here, Mr. Tim, as we do have a little bit of a break, what's up with the Vala build?
Let's check it out. Again, I have to actually hit tab real quick. What do we have? We have composite arrows, we have puncturing arrow, we have repeat arrow. Oh wow, we're going heavy arrow build. Interesting. I don't know, man. I haven't played this one. I don't know what the full advantage of it is.
Back in the beginning of Alpha, we had, I called it the 12 arrow build, and some people, you know, it doesn't really matter what you called it, but it was the Hungering Arrow increased to 3, which is what we have here with the puncturing, refresh on Volt, and then you take double Volt. That way you get up to 12 attacks on a single target with 3 arrows. I don't know if we're actually going to see the double Volt here at 16, if we do get to 16 for the Murloc Geniuses, but it's just a little bit more of a throwback to an older build, but it's also meant for dueling. It's not really meant for big AoE, not meant for wave clear. It's literally just meant to help bring down a single target if they can isolate that target.
Which makes sense. If you can get rid of someone like Kerrigan or potentially Diablo, from there, you just have a numbers advantage with your team, and your team puts out a lot of damage between Sylvanas and Vala pretty quickly, as well as Zagara with the Hydralisk. So it makes sense. It just seems like things have to really roll your way. Also, it seems pretty mana intensive, so you have to be very decisive with your arrows. But hey, man, we'll see what happens here, as Murloc is an absolute beast on any hero that he plays, so I have full faith in him. We'll see if when they grab that extra vault, if they'll be able to utilize that.
Now, once more as well, at the level 13 tier, we've been seeing the Blessed Champion, the newly reworked Blessed Champion, I should say, at level 13 here for the Uther. It's been the mainstay talent for that tier on Uther play. No shrink raise, I think, all day from him.
Oh, wow. And then interesting play from the Uther. It helps out with the healing, because, again, I guess you kind of want to get a couple heals in fights, because if you're getting poked out, if you can maybe save your teammate, a lot of the initial burst combo is away from Kerrigan, Diablo, Tyrande. But here we go, engage once again. Nice stutter step there from Murloc into a Volt. Caterpillar trying to help with the fight, but he's just getting bursted down so quickly, being 3 levels down. Even tanking characters like Murden are just going to be melted away. We see the Zagara as well being killed off, and finally Brightwing 2, a completely 5 members available here for the red team, and they're just going to keep pushing down this bottom lane because they have Giants here.
Yeah, the Siege Giants are going to be the big one there. The big story of that last fight, though, like that initial engage, Silo went in with the Shadow Charge, immediately started Lightning Breath, but he got sucked down by the Maw. Today I learned a Maw will actually stop out a Lightning Breath.
Yeah, I think it's the only heroic that actually does anything against Diablo. So yeah, good to know for the future in case we're in Hero League. If you ever want to take down a Diablo that picks up Lightning Breath, just pop down that Maw. But even though they did take out the Lightning Breath, it still didn't help out Murloc Genesis. They're just a little bit too far behind right here, but they're trying to find a way to come back. And if they can win a team fight, yeah, sure, they'll jump up and be even in the game. But right now, they just seem to be a little bit off point.
And Mad Timmy right now, he is trying to do as much split soaking as he can into that bottom lane, but he's going to be needed for this fight. Caterpillar goes in with that dwarf, but does he have that avatar? He does not. It's actually not going to be up for this. Mad Timmy gets off the Emerald win, but that's about all he's going to be able to contribute to this one. Hospital is trying to trace down Coffin Luck. You can see Faye there as well, but Mirrodin will get comboed down. There goes Faye as well as Hospital leaps right to him. And once more, it's a quick 3 up, 3 down, and 3 more kills for LunatiK. It is a flawless game so far kill-wise, as it's 21-0 at the 13-minute mark.
And I like what LunatiK is doing here. They're going to go ahead and put 3 members here in the middle lane. They're not going to worry about the top shrine here. They're only going to grab the middle one. That's all they really need to do. They have Uther that can hold that down. Diablo is heading up there. But by doing this, they're kind of double dipping here. They're getting turrets killed off, and they're also getting all the shots, which also means that they're potentially going to have another team fight as well, since the shrine is up in the top right corner. Because right now, they really kind of have their foot on the throats of Murloc Genesis. They have to come fight them. They have to, or they're going to slowly lose the game. So doing these weird, aggressive strategies where they get a team wipe, go push down some turrets, they force Murloc Genesis to eventually come to them again, over and over again, and they're just completely running them through the wood chipper, if you will.
Yeah, it has been fairly brutal this game. Not a single kill in 14 minutes. That is definitely disheartening any way you put it. And double dipping into the double tempos. I mean, you can see 1 keep already down, the 2nd, and now the 3rd is under fire. It will stand by the end of it all, but man, just 4 levels, and we're looking at possibly 20 on the back of a few creep waves here for LunatiK.
All right, Shot's going to be sieging down this last keep in the top left corner. This is the last infrastructure before the core is left, essentially. So the next shrine that does pop up will kill off this keep and start putting damage on the core. At any point now, the Murloc Genesis need to be careful of a potential all-in onto the middle of their core. And with Sylvanas being picked off, that could potentially happen here, especially with level 20.
Yeah, that pickoff on top of Faye was almost just enough to hit the 20. There's that passive experience coming in, a few creep waves here and there. And this is a very bad spot for the Murlocs. They're down an entire talent tier, and it's the Storm talents to boot. The level 20s are so good here for LunatiK. They're going for this boss regardless of him.
All right, well, Fireball goes down, picks up a couple of members, it hits 2 of them, but some nice kiting back until they have all their members up. Caterpillar trying to get a situation where he can help out. Nice emerald win from Mad Timmy, but 2 members are already down from Murloc Genesis. They're kind of forced into this fight, Murloc Genesis are, just because they can't let their opponents get a golem, and in fact, maybe they can get some damage from the golem, but it does not work out. 3 members now dead, golem being picked up here, and now LunatiK Gaming has the possibility, in fact, probably the blood drive if they would like to, just go ahead and push down this entire lane.
Well, Mad Timmy is going to be on the retreat with that beautiful Brightwing skin, by the way. But either way that you cut it, I mean, we got a boss now coming down this bottom. We got GG's now coming out into the chat. And the level 20 Lightning Breath looks fantastic from Silo. It'll go right through that shield. And I think we can safely say, ladies and gentlemen, that LunatiK Esports is going to go undefeated here today in the Go4 Americas Cup number 18.
Yeah, it does look like it. Brightwing being killed off gets the Unlock in trouble as well, trying to pad those stats a little bit. The Golem finally shows up as well to help out with the damage on top of the core, and members are just being chased around. But GG's from both teams, well played overall. But you're right, LunatiK Esports looks like they will win this tournament.
$100 and seeding points for the monthly finals. It's a really good feeling to come back out of that, especially after a little bit more of their rough patch last week in the ESL majors. But LunatiK Esports, I gotta say, with Shot there as their fifth, they are really putting forward some really good performances. Very impressive overall, and they will take the win. And that will bring us to a close, just shy of 4 hours today. Not bad.